Wisteria, energy, twister.
Hello everyone, welcome back. We continue with these beautiful alternative short tales. How to make it snow. First, you must fall down the well. At the bottom of the well is the country at the bottom of the well. That is its name, the only one it has. You have two names, either the beautiful girl or the kind girl, depending on what day it is. At the bottom of the well is green meadow, just like in the country you came from, but different. For one thing, the cows can speak. They say, "Scratch our backs, scratch us under the chin," and you do. The meadow is filled with poppies and cornflowers. The air is warm and the sun is shining. "Thank you, beautiful girl," say the cows, and you walk on. Across the meadow there is a narrow path, worn by cow hooves. Follow it. First you come to the oven. Take me out, cries the bread. "I'm burning up." You take it out. A brown wholemeal loaf. Carry it with you for the birds. They appear later. Next you come to the apple tree. Shake us down, cry the apples. "We're ripe." So you shake the branches as though you were dancing with them. The apples come tumbling down. You put 3 in your pocket. Now you're at the edge of the forest, and the birds call, "Feed us, feed us." You ask the loaf, "May I?" "This is what I was baked for," says the loaf. So you scatter breadcrumbs and the birds come. Sparrows and chickadees, robins and finches and juncos, and a nuthatch. They perch on your arms. As you feed them, absent-mindedly you whistle as they do. In the forest a wild sow approaches. For the first time you are afraid and step back, but she says, "My little ones are hungry, and I smell something sweet." You pull the apples out of your pocket. "May I?" you ask the apples. And they reply, "This is why I fell." You kneel while the sow watches protectively, feeding the apples to her 3 piglets, bristle-backed and tusks just starting to form, but still striped as though someone had marked them with their fingers. The sow nods and says, "You are a kind girl." Then, followed by her progeny, she disappears into the trees. You continue alone. It is getting dark. You pass through the oaks, and now it is all pines. You're walking on needles. The light is fading when you come to the cottage. It looks like the cottage out of a fairy tale. Peaked roof like a witch's hat, dark green trim, small paned windows through which firelight is flickering. Someone is waiting for you. You have nothing left, no bread, no apples, so you knock. The woman who answers is old, small, like a doll made of corn husks. "You're hungry," she says, "and tired. Come in, my dear, the soup is almost ready." There is a fire, and a cauldron on the fire, and a chair by the fire, and a cat in the chair, and you can smell the soup. "Come on then," says the cat, and gets up, but only to settle again in your lap once you sit down. Here are the things you know about the old woman. She milks the cows, she causes the apple to ripen, she teaches the birds their songs, she runs her fingers along the backs of the wild piglets and puts the stripes on them. Here are the things she knows about you. Everything, also your name. "What are you called, my dear?" she asks. "The beautiful girl," you answer, "or the kind girl?" "No," she says. "From now on you shall be she who makes it snow." "Oh, Holly for short." "Holly, it suits you. Here's what I'd like you to do. Tomorrow morning sweep the floor and dust the shelves. Wash the curtains and wind the clock. Polish the silver, and when that's done, shake out my bedspread until the feathers fly like snowflakes. It's time for winter. Can you do that?" You nod. "Yes, of course." That night you sleep under the cat in her attic bedroom. The next morning you put on an apron she left you. Then sweep the floor, dust the shelves, wash the curtains in a metal basin, wind the clock and polish the silver. Finally, you stand on the cottage steps under the tall pine, shake out the almond's bedspread. Snow falls and falls until the forest is silent. Well done, my dear. She's wearing a grey wool coat and carrying a battered suitcase. Can you do that again tomorrow morning? And the day after tomorrow? I need to visit my sisters, and I'm not sure when I'll be back yet. It takes a responsible girl, but I've heard good things about you from the cows, the bread, the apples, the birds, even the trees. And the cat likes you. I'll do my best, she says. She kisses you on both cheeks, then rises up, up, through the trees until she's only but a speck in the colourless sky. You go back into the cottage. There is a cat to scratch under the chin, and books with stories you've never read. And you haven't introduced yourself to the clock yet. Besides, you like your new name. It is the right name for a woman who makes the snow fall. Diamonds and toads is the next one. The fairy tale is a metaphor, because it really would be just as uncomfortable to have diamonds coming out of your mouth as toads. One hard, sharp, like a mouthful of glass. The other soft, squishy, making you disgusted with yourself. Because toads, ugh. At least the diamonds are valuable, glittering in the palm of your hand. Although their edges leave your throat aching, your mouth sore. The diamonds knock against your teeth. The toads make your tongue feel coated as though a snail has crawled across it, leaving a trail. Once there were two girls, sisters. One whose name was Tabitha woke up in a good mood. The sun was shining. She did not mind the sheep bleating in the meadow, although some days she wished they could be eaten by wolves so it would be quiet, just for a moment. Her dress was hanging in the closet, freshly pressed. Her sister had done the ironing yesterday. Her hair was curling naturally, rather than tangling in the brush as usual. So she sang as she went to the well. There she met an old woman who was secretly a witch. Isn't that how it always goes? The woman asked for water, and Tabitha gave it to her, drawing up the pulley with a smile. A lovely day, isn't it? She's the one who got the diamonds. Her sister, Dolores, woke up the next day with a headache. It was raining, and rainy days always did that to her. They also made her hair frizzy. Her only clean dress lay crumpled in the laundry basket, still damp because Tabitha had forgotten to hang it on the clothesline. We can't blame her. She was dealing with the diamond problem, still lying down, with a hot compress on her throat. That morning, the breakfast porridge burned, and the cat had left a half-chewed mouse in the parlour. Ugh. So Dolores went to the well in a foul mood, and told the woman to drop the water herself. She got toads. I told you the tale is a metaphor. They used the diamonds to buy more dresses, a carpet for the parlour, a photograph, some sturdy shoes and books, quite a lot of books. Tabitha was able to finish her degree in the library science. Eventually a prince proposed to Tabitha, but she didn't want to become his main source of income, better than taxes, which Parliament wouldn't let him raise. So she told him she wasn't interested. It was the toads that kept the garden free of damaging insects, cutworms, leaf rollers, loopers, hornworms, root miners, and ubiquitous beetles that chew through rose leaves, leaving them looking like window panes. Dolores grew the finest cabbages, tomatoes, aubergines. Her orchard was the only one not devastated by a new apple borer. Her roses were perfection. From their hips she made a syrup for sore throats, for which Tabitha was grateful. She patented it and created a thriving business. Eventually, Dolores married a gentleman with a very large garden. She's a Lady Dolores now. Tabitha became a librarian, so she rarely has to talk. She can shush without triggering the diamonds. Still, she wears a spectacular brooch pinned to her sweater because, after all, why not? Here is a moral: there are circumstances in which toads are as useful as diamonds. Or it may be, try not to get out of bed grumpy, especially when there are witches around. Or, always be nice to our women, because you never know. Or maybe Tabitha and Dolores are really one woman, And some days what comes out of their mouths is diamonds and other toads. Which is better? I don't know. The moral of the fairy tale is as difficult to figure out as what to do about cutworms and beetles or black spot on the rose leaves. The end. I liked that one. It's very, very different, but very, very interesting. And that's the end of that, guys. I will see you for, well, I guess you'll hear me in the next one. Many blessings.
Wisteria. Energy. Twister.